Today, I will tell you 15 facts about Egypt. Sit back and let's get started. Egypt is a familiar destination for many, a country with a complicated binary character. On the one hand, endless ancient sands, unique architectural monuments, legends of deities and kings, the noise of the streets, where time seems to have frozen. On the other, modern hotels to please tourists, faceless all-inclusive oases. But to look at Egypt with different eyes, it is enough to learn a little more about it. The history and modernity are full of incredible surprises. 1. Egypt is no less than 50 centuries old. At the turn of the 4th and 3rd millennium BC, about 40 city-states on the banks of the Nile were first united under the rule of 2 rulers, and then, after a bloody war between the upper and lower regions under the sole rule of the victorious pharaoh Narmer. 2. The Sinai Peninsula lies between 2 continents, Africa and Asia. Egypt borders Libya, Sudan, Israel, and the Palestinian Authority, and is washed by the Mediterranean and Red Seas, so popular with vacationers. 3. Egypt is the most populous state in the Middle East, with more than 97 million inhabitants in 2017. They settle mostly along the Nile, because more than 90% of the territory is covered by a lifeless desert. About 35 to 40% of Egyptian adults earn less than $2 per day, and only 2 to 3% of citizens can be called wealthy. 4. In 2011, a girl named Facebook was born in Egypt. Yes, Facebook, Jamal Ibrahim. The happy father has invented an unusual nickname, to put it mildly, and not because, for example, the iconic social network introduced him to his wife, that would be too romantic, but because, largely thanks to online activism, dictator Hosni Mubarak was sent into retirement. 5. Egypt is the most economically developed of all the Middle Eastern countries, and one of the main sources of income is, it is easy to guess, tourism. About 15% of the working population is employed in it. The inflow of funds is also provided by ships passing through the Suez Canal, rich Egyptians living abroad and exporters of cotton, oil, fruits and vegetables. 6. The climate in Egypt is not the mildest. In summer the air heats up to plus 40, plus 50 degrees C in the shade, and in the evening it gets noticeably colder, so sweaters and windbreakers are handy. The scorching Hamsin wind brings sandy clouds. Thankfully, the mountains protect resorts from storms. The Red Sea, the warmest on Earth, is nice to rest in the winter. The average January air temperature is plus 20, plus 25 degrees C, water, plus 21 degrees C. However, at night the thermometer column goes down to plus 10 degrees C, and in deserts and even frosts occur. 7. Memphis is not only the last resting place of Elvis Presley in the United States, but also the first capital of ancient Egypt. Once famous for its great tombs and temple complexes, today its mud-covered ruins are a UNESCO World Heritage Site. 8. Pantheon of ancient Egyptians includes more than 1,400 gods and goddesses. The most famous are the almighty Amun-Ra, the lord of the afterlife Osiris, the goddess of motherhood and fertility Isis, the guide of souls Anubis, and the demiurge Ta. 9. The Oscar Figurine looks suspiciously like the figure of the Egyptian god Sokar, the patron saint of the dead, whose cult center was the same Memphis. The play of letters is also suggestive. If it is a coincidence, it is too ambiguous. 10. Contrary to popular belief, the pyramids of Egypt, the only surviving wonder of the world, were not built by disenfranchised slaves, but by skilled laborers who were paid. The duck was propagated by the ancient Greek historian Herodotus, who was born much later than the events described. Archaeologists have recently discovered that the builders lived freely, ate quality food in equipped canteens, and were buried next to the tombs of pharaohs, an honor unavailable to a mere slave. 11. The glass pyramid at the entrance to the Louvre is not accidentally reminiscent of the tomb of Cheops. It was inspired by the architect Bey-Yuaman, who wanted to pay tribute to Egyptian greatness and inestimable cultural heritage. 12. The Great Sphinx lost its nose in 1798, during Napoleon's war with the Turks, but that is not certain. The Danish traveler Frederick Norden noticed the organ's absence nearly half a century earlier, and some scholars impute vandalism to a 14th century religious fanatic who enforced Muhammad's ban on depicting living creatures. 13. The pharaohs were not at all as handsome and slender as in the surviving pictures. They frequently abused bread, honey and alcohol and were therefore overweight, but court portraitists at all times tend to flatter. 14. But no one knows for certain what Cleopatra looked like. There is not a single accurate portrait that accurately reproduces the appearance of the seductress. The coins depicted her with big eyes, wavy curls, a hooked nose and a protruding chin, hereditary traits of the Ptolemaic dynasty, so that an approximate image is still evident. 15. The city of Heracleion, founded, according to legend, by the son of Zeus, Heracles, was accidentally discovered in 2000. Frank Gaudiat of France. But not on land, but at the bottom of the Gulf of Abu Qir near Alexandria, at a depth of 10 meters. 14,000 artifacts of wood, stone and gold, 64 ships and mysterious ruins were hidden underwater for 12 centuries.